Well, as a presidential election heats up, so does a race for one of the country's most high-profile Senate seats. One America's Stephanie Myers explains the challenges Marco Rubio faces in retaining his spots.
Florida, home of the Gators, alligators, amusement parks, and the center of the notorious hanging Chad controversy in the 2000 presidential election. Fast forward to 2016, and it's former Republican presidential candidate Marco Rubio vying to keep his Senate seat against Democratic challenger Patrick Murphy. Murphy currently represents Florida's 18th congressional district since 2013. But the congressman admits he's struggled to gain name recognition against an incumbent senator who ran for president. Because of that, Murphy has continuously attacked Rubio over his Senate voting record throughout his campaign, hoping Floridians see him as a more reliable choice.
You see, Marco Rubio earned the worst voting record of any senator from Florida in nearly 50 years.
However, it's Murphy who should be concerned about his own record. During one of the Senate debates, Rubio slammed Murphy for exaggerating his credentials.
You didn't run saying you were a CPA. You ran saying your experience working as a CPA would serve the country. You never had a license to work as a CPA in Florida, so either you never worked as a CPA or you were working illegally as an unlicensed CPA. Number two, you never had a single contract to clean up the Gulf of Mexico. So the company was only open for 5 months and it lost money from the beginning. And number three, you didn't have a dual degree from the University of Miami because they don't give dual degrees at the University of Miami.
That's not the first time Murphy has been caught red-handed. A CBS investigation found a company called Coastal Environmental Services, owned by the congressman, falsified claims in their advertising materials. And in 2003, Murphy was charged with having a fake ID and disorderly intoxication outside a Miami Beach nightclub. Looking at 2016, and it's the FBI investigating campaign donations made to Murphy during his 2012 congressional campaign. In June, a Republican super PAC filed a complaint accusing a friend of Murphy's of donating thousands of dollars to his campaign under 11 different falsified names. And speaking of dollars, Rubio can tout his own tenacity to get the Zika funding passed to help Floridians and residents across the nation.
I have come here to the floor of the Senate to urge my colleagues to take action on Zika on at least 8 separate occasions. I've written letters. I've written laws. I've supported every single Zika proposal that has come before the Senate, regardless of which party wrote it.
Meanwhile, Murphy said he's reluctant to vote for any bill that doesn't meet President Obama's full funding request and if it includes provisions unrelated to Zika. Rubio's bipartisan efforts with Florida Democratic Senator Bill Nelson worked, since Congress agreed to pass a $1.1 billion legislation to help fight the Zika virus. A late October CNN poll shows Rubio leading Murphy by 1 point, 49 to 48%. Luckily for the incumbent, he's been ahead of Murphy in almost all of the surveys conducted since early September. While it may be no walk in the park for Rubio to win this Senate race, chances are he'll find himself flying back to Washington. Stephanie Myers, One America News.